Hey guys, welcome back to Grind Season Outdoors. Collin here, and we're going to be jumping today into some rut footage. We're going to be talking about the strategies that I was using last year, show some footage of Blake hunting a little bit, but we're going to be showing just a ton of deer, a ton of bucks, and like I said, talking about the thought process and kind of the game plan on hunting some of these spots. So let's jump into it. I hope you guys enjoy this one. It's going to be action-packed with a ton of awesome footage.
Guys, I just got up in the tree here. Still pitch dark out, but I wanted to get in plenty early tonight. I've had a lot of deer showing up in daylight in front of this stand. A couple bucks that might be shooters. I'd probably have to see them in person to really make that decision. But there's been a lot of does too. And they just took this corn out last night, and I had like 30 pictures of deer overnight. So I'm in here first thing this morning. And I'm probably gonna take a doe if I get a chip shot at one. Otherwise, I'm still hunting for a big buck, and I don't really have a target that's high on my list in here. But there's always good deer around here, and I'm sure there's deer that I don't know about. There's been several new bucks that have been showing up already, so I'm just gonna sit here this morning, see what I see, and just go back to hunting old school. I've only had a couple cameras up here this year. So, like I said, there's probably some deer I don't know about, and I'm willing to just make a decision in the hunt right now. We'll sit around here this morning and just kind of see what happens, but I'm looking forward to it. It should be an enjoyable morning in the woods. Guys, that was absolutely exciting. I'm still just shaking. I haven't been excited like that about a deer for a very, very long time, but that was the buck. I believe that I've been getting on my camera every now and then, walking past up on the field side here, and there's a big valley on my right that I can see all the way through there, and I know there's stuff going on that my cameras aren't catching here. So when I seen him starting to show up, I seen they were taking this corn out. I wanted to get in here this morning, and I've seen quite a few bucks now, and he came in just trailing a doe, and I don't know, I gave him a couple grunts when the doe was just kind of standing down on the hillside just to see if he'd come over to check it out, but I didn't want to be too pushy. I didn't want to try anything too crazy. He was really close to me, so I don't know. I'm still in the game though. I don't know if that doe's in heat or what the deal is, but he was on her pretty hard. He came in chasing her, stuck right with her, was trying to walk another buck off, snort wheezed at him a couple times, and then the doe went back the way that they came from, and he went right after her again. So if she's in heat, I not only have a chance for her to walk by with that buck behind him, but I also got a chance for another different shooter buck to walk by as well, trying to find her. So I don't know. This is the most in the game that I've felt all year, and I might just have to sit here for the rest of the day. But they're starting to take the corn out. I just turned the combine going again. So man, I'm fired up. Still just shaking, but I don't know. That was extremely exciting, and I'm just gonna sit around and hope that he shows back up again. Well, it's 3 o'clock. I've been sitting here in this tree for 8.5 hours. Thankfully, I've had some pretty consistent movement other than just the one bigger deer. There's been a couple does down in this ditch off to my right, and a couple bucks that have been cruising by. Nothing big or anything, but just enough to kind of get me through. And then they just finished getting all this corn behind me taken out, so I was excited to see if anything was going to come running out of that corn right at the end, but unfortunately the only thing that came out was one whopping rabbit, so that didn't really help me out at all. But hopefully now that this stuff is freshly picked, these deer will get out here and hit this tonight, and hopefully they go right past me on their way. I don't know, it's been an awesome morning, pretty good afternoon for these all-day sits. If you can just see some deer throughout the day, that's all you can ask for. And there has been some consistent movement all day, so I don't know, we got a few hours left here before dark. I'm praying to God that we can make it happen. Alright, I want to give a quick update here. The big one that I saw this morning just walked by again, and I didn't get any footage of him. He was a long ways through the woods down on the bottom of this ditch here, and he was just walking the bottom of it straight to the north. throughout the day today, the wind is completely switched. It's almost on a straight 180, and at this point, it's actually going to be at my advantage. I tried to call it the deer after he kind of worked away, and I couldn't see him anymore, and he didn't come in at all. But the good news is, right now, he is straight upwind to me, the direction that he went. I should be good as far as my wind goes, so that wind switch is actually helping me out right now. But I was hoping he would come over this way and give me a shot, but it didn't work out once again. Hopefully he does what he did last night. He showed up walking right out towards the field right here at about 15 yards, and he did that right after 6 o'clock. So if he does that again tonight, it might be one of the last decisions that he ever makes.
Matt?
Thank the Lord. I got 2 doe tags this year during bow season, and I know there's a lot of guys that don't really like to shoot does during the bow season, but Caitlin and I, we go through a lot of deer meat, and I've just learned not to pass up really good opportunities. So thankfully, had a few does coming out, read the script, which is kind of what I came here to do, honestly, and then ended up seeing a really good buck. But I just haven't been able to get a shot at that buck. And these does came out, and they were all offering me a really good shot. The first 2 were pretty small, second 2 were big ones, and I just took the one that ended up at about, she was probably 12 to 13 yards away from the base of the tree where I shot her. So she was kind of quartering away hard, made a really good shot on her. She went down right out in the field, and I just watched her die. So, I'm extremely thankful to put another tag on a deer, put some more meat in the freezer. We should be on pace for meat now. We're just going to be buck hunting, so I'm freaking pumped. But we're going to sit tight, and we're going to see if our buck can show up here before dark. there's still a decent buck out in the field here, but he's not a shooter. But holy smokes, the last 20 minutes were absolutely nuts. There was like deer coming from every direction, and none of them were getting my wind. It was working out perfect. They were all coming out into this field, and that doe, I think it's the same doe that big one was with this morning. She came out at like probably 25 yards, and she had a buck behind her, but it wasn't him. Well, she jumped the fence and then started going across the road, and that buck followed her. And then from the other direction, the big one ended up coming out, and he went and met up with her up at the top of the hill and took her across the road along with a couple other deer. The other bucks all stayed on this side of the road, but man, so close. 3 times he came by and just did not walk within bow range any of those times. But other than the second time, which was kind of just a quick glimpse, I got footage of him both times. And that last time, man, I hope it just shows how big that deer is. The trail camera pictures did not do him justice. And I don't even know if the first time I got him on video did it justice, but he is a big freaking buck. And the bad thing now is I don't know if I'm going to be in the game with this guy. You know, he went across the road over there and I can hunt over there, but I don't have any stands over there, and I don't have any stands that aren't hung up right now. So my only other option would be pulling this one down. But I think I might just keep an eye on my camera tonight. That's right here, and see if he shows up at night. And if not, I'm gonna focus on some other stuff tomorrow at least. Maybe come back on Sunday. But the wind doesn't look perfect for this place anyway. So I will just I don't know. I'm just gonna follow my gut. Maybe make some last-minute decisions. But holy crap, was it ever a fun night tonight?
All right guys, here she is. Easy tracking job on this one. Ended up being probably one of the best hunts that I've ever had. An all-day sit, dark to dark. I probably saw 11 or 12 different bucks, a whole bunch of does, a few fawns, but you know, it was just constant action all day. And like I said earlier, I actually kind of planned on just coming here to try to shoot a doe. It's a Friday night and we're going into the weekend. We got plenty of time to go hang her up and deal with cutting up the deer and stuff. So you know, it just couldn't be a more perfect time to get the doe, other than the fact that it's kind of getting into the rut and these bucks are starting to chase, and our chances of getting a buck are pretty high. But I kind of decided if there wasn't any other deer around other than some does, I was going to try to get it done, and that's exactly what happened. She gave me just a perfect shot, and it was just her and a couple other does out in the field. So I was able to make a good shot on her. She ran right out in the field and died. And I don't know, it kind of just worked out perfectly. I wish I would have been able to get the big one that I ended up having 3 encounters with, but this was kind of the next best thing. After a long day of hunting and a lot of action, I was able to fill a tag. So both my doe tags are filled now. Now we can focus for the rest of November on filling that buck tag. I'm excited about it, but we're gonna take care of this old girl and get her in the freezer.
Well, thank you guys for watching. We're gonna have a few more hunting videos that'll come out this year, and then all of this year's footage will come out next year. The word on the street is that one of the boys has already put down a really big deer and got it all on video this year. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with everybody. But until next time guys, take care, and we'll see you again here on Grind Season Outdoors.